this going to be on? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. I'll kick it off and toss it to you to start. I'll just intro it. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Thank You Tampa Bay Host Committee Closing Press Conference. My name is Brooke Skelly. I am the Host Committee Director of Marketing Communications, and I will be your moderator today. In speaking order, we'll have NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, our Tampa Bay Host Committee Co-Chairmen, Derek Brooks and Will Weatherford, Hillsborough County Commissioner Ken Hagan, City of Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, and our CEO and President of the Host Committee, Rob Higgins. With that being said, I will go ahead and let Commissioner Goodell begin.
Okay, thank you, and good morning. What a fantastic event last night. We were so thrilled. Buccaneers played an outstanding football game and deserved to be our Super Bowl champions, and congratulations to them, their entire organization, and all the fans on just a fantastic season. I also want to thank our partners, most of which are right up here on the stage, for their incredible efforts to pull off this event. At this event a year ago, I don't think any of us would have imagined the challenges that we were going to have to face, and the can-do attitude of the people up here and so many others behind them. It was really an extraordinary effort. And we always say football's a team game. Well, this is a great team up here. They really found a way to find solutions to difficult problems and really showed that this community is a can-do community who can make things happen. And all of us at the NFL will be forever grateful. Not forever 55, we will that too, DB. But we really believe that the folks down here know how to do events. They know how to support and partner. And the people here really have been quite extraordinary. So we're thrilled and want to thank each one of them. DB, you have been extraordinary, and Will, as our co-chairs, thank you. Very happy with all the work that you all have done. And of course, some people who weren't here, the Glazier family, congratulations to them. I don't know, they may still be up. They may be still wondering if it was a dream, but it wasn't. It was just a great thing for the Bucs organization and this community. And so congratulations to the entire Glazier family for their hard work, their willingness to work through the difficult challenges and to end up being Super Bowl champions this morning. Rob Higgins, who's down there at the end. I want to make sure I get you, Rob. I know I've seen you on TV more than anyone I know. I don't know how many events you do a day, but just an extraordinary job. Your staff also, thank you so much for everything you've done. Mayor, thank you. You said you were going to deliver a great day of weather, and you did it. You also delivered a very safe event, I think, for all participants, fans, all of us. It just was an extraordinary effort, and we're very, very pleased for that. And Ken, thank you on behalf of Hillsborough County. The collective effort here and the teamwork, as I mentioned before, was just remarkable. So thank you. We are just thrilled with our experience here and look forward to being back. That's all I'll say about that. DB.
Thank you, Commission. I want to start by, again, thanking everybody in Tampa for staying with us through the difficult times. Obviously, we had a game plan that had to change, had to pivot, and then we had changes to those pivots as we went along. But everybody kept the proper attitude that we were here to do a job. And I am so grateful to be a part of the leadership team, and especially in this leadership team that understand the greater good. Man, it is so awesome that our Bucs, as you can see, I dusted this thing off to show my fandom. But we are so glad that they're hoisting that Lombardi trophy today. But as for me, the more important winners is our Bay Area community and the efforts that we partner with the NFL in our legacy programs through Forever 55. And that money is over $2 million. You'll continue to see the winnings of us hosting this Super Bowl affecting our community on every level. And we have a touch point to touch every section of citizens in this Bay Area. So for me, that's the biggest winners of us all. And I think I will let my co-chair here thank our partners, but I want to thank everybody for their effort and the team attitude of together, everybody achieves more. So with that, I'll turn it over to my co-chair, Mr. Will Rutherford.
Thank you, Derek. Well, it's just a pleasure to be here. What an incredible event. What an incredible year. It's been a challenging year, but I just want to say, Commissioner, what you and the NFL have done in working with us to make this what I think will be one of the more meaningful NFL Super Bowls in history, to have 7,500 healthcare workers from this community and around the country that are vaccinated and representing where we're going as a country and as a world. It was just inspirational to see, and we're just grateful to you and to the NFL for that. I'm so grateful for our sponsors, our private sponsors throughout this entire year, all the challenges that COVID provided. We never lost a sponsor. They hung in there with us. They stuck with us to make sure that we could showcase Tampa Bay in a way that would make everybody proud. And of course, our public sponsors, who you'll hear from here shortly. We could not have done it without them. A year ago, when the commissioner handed us the football and told us we were on the clock in Miami, I made the statement that a community only gets so many opportunities to define itself, to have a defining moment. And we said that this would be a defining moment for Tampa Bay. And when you have a defining moment, you define it or it will define you. And COVID tried to define the moment here in Tampa Bay for us and tried to define the Super Bowl. But we overcame that together, and we have defined it ourselves. And it's a historic night for the Buccaneers, for Tampa Bay, for the NFL, and hopefully for the world. And I'm really honored to be a small part of it. So thank you very much. Ken?
Well, thanks, Will. On behalf of Hillsborough County and the Board of County Commissioners, I want to say we couldn't be any more excited to have hosted our fifth Super Bowl, Super Bowl 55. To have our Buccaneers win the Lombardi Trophy and reach football immortality by winning the Super Bowl on our home field really is a dream come true for Buccaneer fans across Tampa Bay, and it's something our community will never forget. When we host major events, and you've heard Rob and us say this all through the year, two terms immediately come to mind, and that's Team Tampa Bay and it's game day every day. And these are not slogans. As Commissioner Goodell said, it's all about teamwork here. All of our partners step up, rally, work together as a team, and I tell you, we couldn't be any more proud. And that excitement and energy was on full display throughout Tampa Bay. And as a result, our community shined brighter than ever during Super Bowl week on the worldwide stage. And a big part of that were the 8,000 volunteers who worked extremely hard to welcome and assist our guests from the moment they got off the plane, at the NFL Experience, along the Riverwalk, at Armature Works, and really throughout Tampa Bay this entire week. So a special thank you to all of our volunteers and ambassadors for really rolling out the red carpet and showing all of our guests what a wonderful city we have here in Tampa. And lastly, as a lifelong Bucs fan, I want to thank the Glazier family, Brian Ford, all of the players, and the entire organization for giving us memories that will last a lifetime and for making Tampa Bay title town. Now I'd like to pass this along to my friend Mayor Jane Castor.
All right. Thank you, Ken. Boy, I tell you, the world, a lot of places think that Tampa Bay is actually a city. And as we all know, Tampa Bay is comprised of three incredible cities: Clearwater, St. Petersburg, and Tampa. And so this was our opportunity to really dance on that world stage and show everyone that we literally live down here in paradise. So I want to thank everyone for allowing us this opportunity. Thank you, Commissioner, and the NFL could not have been better partners. And as everyone stated, this has been a difficult year for everyone, and to be able to provide that joy and excitement in a safe way for the world to enjoy was truly remarkable. And as everyone has said, it's a team effort. It's Team Tampa Bay. But the NFL, stepped up in every way, making all of the events safe. We had a great venue where we could have 2.5 miles of open air parks that allowed everyone to enjoy the water, enjoy the excitement throughout the week. I said there were two things that on my list that needed to be accomplished. One was to have great weather, so that I don't control. So I thank the man above for that one. And the second one was a win. And so just so excited about that. I want to thank everyone. The entire community came together and worked so hard to put this event on. Team Tampa Bay, oh my gosh, just talk about the things that changed and the pivots and all of the changes on top of changes on top of changes. Everyone remained flexible, dynamic throughout the entire event. I mean, a year's planning. And so it was absolutely wonderful. Couldn't have done it without the volunteers. And one of the most remarkable and profound elements, I think, of this for me personally was the NFL's decision to allow our healthcare workers to be there. My partner Anna and I had conversations with several healthcare workers that were seated around us, and they were just overjoyed at the opportunity to see a Super Bowl and then just to get some relief after all that they've been through in this last year, trying to keep our community and other communities safe. So exciting. Thank you to the Glazier family for putting that team together, and thank you to the Buccaneers. You went out on that field and you got it done. And we could not be more excited about that or overjoyed. So thank you for the experience. Thank you to everybody that had a hand in it. And we just can't wait to go after the next Super Bowl. Go Bucs. All right, I'll turn it over to the man who has been working 25 hours a day for over a year, Mr. Rob Higgins.
Well, it's only appropriate to start by thanking this dream team right here. You look at our co-chairs, the dynamic duo, our offensive and defensive coordinators, their leadership has been unwavering throughout. Certainly, Ken with the entire county has been phenomenal. The mayor, all the adjustments we made late to try to keep things even more safe was incredible. And then there's a lot of people that aren't up here. Certainly, they mentioned the community ambassadors, who've been phenomenal. Our convention visitors bureaus, Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Visit Tampa Bay and Santiago, and then the Florida Sports Foundation. So I know we're all representing just a ton of different people. This wasn't a game. This wasn't an event. This was truly a movement. I think when we went into this, we went in with the mentality of we're going to showcase everything that's new and different since 2009. All these physical changes that have happened, our stadium renovations, our new hotels, St. Pete Pier, the Riverwalk, all these different things. And we got a chance to showcase those. But more importantly, we got a chance to showcase our heart and our collaborative spirit. I don't think we could have ever envisioned these last 12 months, grueling 12 months. It's great to see these people in person. I've only seen them on Zooms while I'm in my blazer and my boxer shorts from my kitchen table. So it's been incredible, the adjustments that have been made. There's going to be other cities that have bigger stadiums and bigger hotels and bigger regions. I'm biased, but none of them have a bigger heart. And I think that's what we got a chance to showcase. In the NFL, taught us things about ourselves that we didn't know that we needed to know. And it's hard to keep it together up here, but I can do it from a standpoint of, as Derek mentioned, this is just the beginning. Forever 55 is impacting people today. It's going to impact people tomorrow. It's going to impact people 10 years from now. The Vaccinated Healthcare Worker Initiative was a starting point, not just for our community, but for our country, to honor our healthcare heroes better. We've met Susie Dorner, we've met Glenda Wright, we've met Kim Devonik, and we've met all these people that have helped get us through the pandemic. And now we have a chance to cheer them on better, to recognize them better, to understand what they're going through on the front lines and getting us through the pandemic. And for that, Commissioner, we're forever grateful. You know, Peter and Matt and BMAC and the entire team, you guys have been phenomenal. You guys are family to us. We've loved every single second. We've loved the 1.5 million Zooms that we've been on with you guys, starting at 7 a.m. and ending at 11 p.m. and everything. It has been truly, truly phenomenal, and we could not be more appreciative for everything you've taught us. So we're going to take those lessons as a community. We're going to keep showcasing this collaborative spirit. We're going to keep showcasing this big heart of ours, and we're going to head forward. We're going to head forward. We're going to head forever, and we're going to head together, because this community has learned so much from this event, and we can't wait to take those lessons we learned and continue to move forward. So thank you, everybody, for everything you've done here.
All right, you guys, we will now begin the Q&A portion of the presentation. Commissioner Goodell, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your partnership. It means the world to us. For the Q&A portion, the speakers available for questions will be Derek Brooks, Will Weatherford, Commissioner Hagan, and Mayor Jane Castor, and Rob Higgins. To ask a question, please use the raise hand function when you're called on. You will get a prompt to unmute your microphone. And when you start your question, please be sure to list your first name, last name, and also the name of the outlet. For our first question, we will begin with Antoine Willis.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Understood. My first question is for the man on the far left. I just want, first of all, Antoine Willis for PR and Sports. My first question, I wanted to know, out of everything you experienced this entire weekend and bringing the entire Super Bowl together, what would you say was the hardest thing to make sure everything flowed correctly with all the COVID-19 restrictions and everything?
Which left? You want it from Derek or you want it from me?
Yeah. You. I'm sorry about that. Yes, sir.
Oh,
You.
it's okay. Obviously with a Super Bowl, there are thousands upon thousands of decisions that have to be made. And the NFL has been the ultimate partners throughout. We've been joined at the hip, every second of every day for quite some time, months on end. And no matter how big or how small of a decision that needed to be made, there was one common denominator throughout, and that was health and safety. So health and safety literally drove every decision throughout the entire event. And so I think you saw the success of the NFL's health and safety protocols by getting through this season on time. There was a lot of speculation throughout the year that wouldn't be possible. It's a total team effort. I know we got down to 2 teams yesterday, but that wouldn't have been possible without all 32 franchises doing their part throughout the entire season to keep us on schedule. And so those same protocols, were just heightened on an even bigger stage when you look at Super Bowl experience presented by Lowe's as well as the Super Bowl yesterday. And so, again, I talked a little bit about things that we've learned. I think we've learned even, an even greater sense of public health and safety. And we're so fortunate to have fantastic partners like the mayor and Commissioner Hagan, who are the ones that help on the ground executing it through our local law enforcement and everything else. But it's been, I would just say, from start to finish, seamless when it comes to that being the mutually aligned top priority with both the NFL as well as our community.
Thank you, Rob. Our next question will come from Jenna Lane with ESPN.
Hello. My question is for Mayor Castor. I spoke to you earlier in the week about, your decision to, have some tighter rules when it comes to mask wearing and things like that. I know great effort was made by the committee's part to make this as safe as possible, but, how frustrating is it when you still see images of people in Ybor City and they're running around maskless, or some of these other, parties and events? And what would you say to some of those folks who decided to kind of go rogue?
Yes, it is a little frustrating because we have worked so hard and in cooperation with the NFL and the county and just a number of different entities, putting the executive order in place that masks had to be worn in specific areas that we knew groups would be congregating. And really, the upside is the majority of individuals understood the significance of wearing a mask. They also understood their level of personal responsibility. And we couldn't have been successful without that. Yes, we did see some videos, did see some individuals that weren't wearing a mask. And at this point in dealing with COVID-19, there is a level of frustration when you see that because, it can be passed on to those individuals who are least likely, to recover safely from it. But I think overall, our businesses understood the significance of it. And, this was a boost for them to be able to hold this event and to do it safely, helped out our local businesses in addition to putting us on the worldwide stage. But after so much effort, passing out over 200,000 masks, signage everywhere, constant communication, not to mention that everybody knows that masks work, it was just a little frustrating to see some of the individuals not adhering. But on the other hand, it was joyful for me personally to see the majority of people wearing masks and understanding that level of personal responsibility.
Thank you, Mayor Castor. The next question will be coming from Zinni Abram.
How do you do, everyone? First of all, congratulations. And I asked this question from the perspective of one who actually formed Oakland's only bid to host the Super Bowl. We lost to Jacksonville. So I'm curious to know, months before when we first had this problem, there's no section in your book that says pandemic issues. When working with businesses and signage and activations, when did you first realize, hey, we're gonna have to redo this and get together, or was it piecemeal? And I don't mean that as a pejorative at all. Thank you.
Do you mind repeating the question? It broke up a little bit on our end.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm curious to know, in terms of preparing for this months before, what was the biggest issue you had to face in businesses, sponsorships, activations, given that there's a pandemic? And I asked that from the perspective of forming the bid to host the Oakland Super Bowl that we didn't get, Jacksonville got. So I've been some of where you're at,
Well, the only certainty we had throughout the entire process was that it was going to be uncertain. I don't think we could have ever expected to be as dynamic as it possibly was, but we, had a dual-fold mission throughout as a host committee. One, we were going to be great partners to the NFL. We wouldn't have gotten this. You may recall LA got the bid originally, and then their stadium construction fell a little bit behind, and they had to turn to somebody to host it on a shorter time frame. We were so fortunate that they picked us, and I think that was based off the track record of being a great partner to the NFL in the four previous. And then secondly, we wanted to make sure that we maximized the opportunity for our community, no matter what it looked like, no matter what the stadium capacity was, no matter if there was travel restrictions, no matter what it was. Whatever hand we got dealt, we wanted to make sure we maximized it for our community because we really owed that. So no matter how uncertain it got, no matter what was said on a Zoom, no matter what the data dictated, those are really our two internal driving principles. And I think that really helped us stay the course, but then also stay nimble and be able to pivot. And Derek likes to say audible and all of those things. Derek, I know you.
Yeah, and I would say a big key was obviously transparency. We were very transparent throughout the process with a proactive attitude. We always looked at the glass as 3/4 full, and we just moved along that way. As I said earlier, we devised a plan, and within hours, there's different information that we had to pivot to. It wasn't complaining about the work we've done. It was, hey, let's get excited about the work we're getting ready to do. So I just think that change in attitude, we just transcended that from everybody on our committee through all of our partners, and everybody just fell in line, understanding that the goal is bigger and we're going to show them a pathway of positivity.
Thank you. And just so everyone knows, we will be taking questions for 5 more minutes. The next question will be from Lauren Wong.
Good morning, everybody. This is Lauren Rosella from WFTS ABC Action News in Tampa. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. So this question is for Mayor Castor. So obviously, we're very excited about this Bucs win, and we've, already seen that we can do a celebration following a big win after we did with the Stanley Cup. What are you guys doing right now to plan a celebration in conjunction with the NFL and the Buccaneer organization? What could that look like? And do we have any idea when it will be?
Well, thank you for that question, Lauren. And what a great problem to have, right? We got to have a Super Bowl celebration. But, this event was historic on so many levels. The fact that we did it during a pandemic, the fact that we were the first team to host in our own backyard, and then the fact that we were the first team to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in our own stadium. And so that deserves celebration. Now, we didn't want to start planning, not that any of us are superstitious, but we didn't want to get ahead of ourselves and plan a celebration event. But we will be doing that feverishly today in conjunction with the Glaziers, the Buccaneers, and everybody else that had a hand in this, because this win was from the Buccaneer team, but this win was for our entire community. And so they deserve to be able to celebrate along with the team. So we will put one together. Hopefully it will be scheduled for later this week, and everybody will be able to participate and participate safely.
Thank you, Mayor Castor. Our last question will be from Melissa Thomas with Florida National News.
Good morning, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas, Florida National News. Thank you so much. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. And this question is for Mayor Castor and Commissioner Hagan. Obviously, just on the point of the Forever 55, we've been covering a lot of the community events that have been taking place. Now that things are wrapped up, just kind of give your overall impression and feedback that you guys have been getting from the community in terms of the NFL's impact in the work that they've been doing over the course of this week.
Okay. Well, it really is exciting. So 2009, the NFL left behind a brick and mortar legacy, and that is still paying dividends over in East Tampa at the NFL Yet Center. This year, it was a little different with the pillars that Team Tampa Bay came up with to address those issues that are the most significant in our community. And I had the honor of participating in several of those events. And I can tell you the community was so appreciative of some of those elements that had sort of an instant reaction. A lot of the other pillars, if you look at education and you look at systemic justice and you look at food insecurities, those are the types of issues that affect so many in our community every single day. And so we are working on that in a way that Forever 55, this Super Bowl, this host committee, and those initiatives will pay dividends in our community for generations to come. And I couldn't be more proud of not only the way that those pillars were developed, but how they were implemented and are going to continue to be of value for literally generations to come. So the Super Bowl is a great sporting event. It's a great victory. It put us on the world stage. but it really are those legacy initiatives that will carry us into the future.
And I'll also echo everything that Mayor Castor said. And this is something that Rob talks about all the time. Obviously, when you host a major event like your Super Bowl, they do an outstanding job from a marketing standpoint and from a just being able to showcase your community. But there's also the social impact. And that goes back, I can tell you, to our last Super Bowl when I participated with Commissioner Goodell over at Mort Elementary School, when we had a facility there that was put in with the NFL yet, similar to what happened in East Tampa. And that school, I'm friends with the principal there. I mean, they're still grateful for what the NFL did 12 years later. And in speaking with many of the nonprofits that were beneficiaries of some of the money that was raised and given out to our community, they are extremely grateful and thankful to the NFL and for the Super Bowl for being able to be beneficiaries of the great work of the NFL, and it will certainly help these nonprofits and these businesses for decades to come.
Just a quick follow-up. There's going to be Super Bowls with more events and more parties and all of those things, but because of Forever 55 and the Vaccinated Healthcare Worker Initiative, I'd be hard-pressed to think there'd ever be one that's more meaningful and that there's ever one more better timed than this. So, really hats off to the NFL for being the driving force there, and we just all couldn't be more appreciative.
All right, that is all for questions. Anything that anyone would like to add before we close out the session?
Go Bucs.
Thank you, everyone, for attending, and have a great day.